for people to do it, but people was doing it way back then. If you had power and nobody was going to stop you, just having sex.
Oh, well, in the 1960s, more people was married, more people was you know, sticking with their significant other
Yeah, you also would have.
in the
Women
50s.
also would have had. They didn't have welfare and stuff like that to get them that allowed them to have freedom from the consequences of poor choices.
Right.
So
Okay.
you didn't shack up, you was gonna be stupid.
I think our fundamental difference is I believe somebody's controlling humanity, and you think that humanity is just would naturally have chaos if there was no if Moses didn't come down with the law. Let's just say.
I mean, I wasn't even talking about Moses aspect, just in general.
I believe that's
We,
where law come from is the church, but that's a whole nother debate.
I'm saying, in general, we're going to be self-destructive. Like not everybody, but most people, because it's fun.
It's fun because I see Kodak Black doing it.
No,
I'm
so
influenced.
so you trying to tell me it doesn't feel good to have an alcoholic drink over some water?
I'm saying if it wasn't for, as I don't want to make it a race thing, but the Europeans coming over here with the alcohol, because
When
the
was
Indians,
alcohol invented?
alcohol been around since 6,000 years.
That's my point. Way before the European, concept thing. Like it's
But
none of this stuff is new.
what was the European in the Americas?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're sticking with more recent events. When I'm saying this has been around for thousands of years.
Right. Okay, that's okay. Thousands of years. Okay, and I'm saying
It's a lot more
our
culturally
difference,
acceptable now.
the difference between us, the fundamental difference is you think that people are just going to be generally bad. I'm saying I think we got some powers that beat us over us that's been influenced us to go down a bad path
For how long?
for thousands and thousands of years.
And who's the influence?
It's the royals. It's the Pope, the papacy.
So you trying to tell me the church is only
The Catholic Church.
all that only go back about 2,000 years.
No,
So what was happening before that?
that's what I'm saying. I don't trust history that much. I don't put that much stock in history. I believe that
But the church
the
thing is still a new
1600.
concept.
You said what?
The church is a new concept.
Right. I'm saying a new concept was introduced to humanity, and it caused humanity to start acting a different way.
So you saying before that everybody was naturally
I've
what?
said, I've said before that we was living amongst the trees in autonomous villages where
So
everything happens automatically.
so you trying to tell me if you look at nature, animals are monogamous?
How we get back to monogamy?
No, I'm just trying to figure out. I want to see where if this still from the old ways, if it still leads to a more destructive behavior.
I don't think
So
this is. I don't think monogamy is natural. The church came up with marriage license.
I mean, it was before that, but we can stick with the church concept. So if monogamy is not natural, what? How does the women feel?
Well, naturally, a woman wants the best guy that she can get.
And the woman's
Where,
not going to be wanting them to all to himself.
yeah, I mean that's a problem, but the creator
And
made it this way. But
you don't
you
think
got to
that's going to
balance.
lead to issues?
If uh if there's no if it wasn't the influence, right? I'll go back to the influence, like the Dick Van Dyke Show. That was a heavy influence on like our mothers and shit growing up.
Right.
So it made it cool to this TV show, this very very popular TV show, influenced a lot of people to act a certain way. Now, is that way right or wrong? I don't know. But I know naturally men want a lot of women, and I know that naturally women want the perfect guy.
And those two are at the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yes, it creates a conundrum. It does.
So you're saying naturally we're going to end up in a chaotic situation.
Is it chaotic, or I mean, naturally, how will we handle it though?
You know it's going to be chaotic
I mean,
because somebody's going to have to sacrifice something that they don't want to.
you could be right, or I don't know how women, because I'm not a woman. I don't know how they would,
We know women are emotional and jealous.
right? But I know that if a man, if a woman thinks highly enough of a man, she it might take her some time, but she will be willing to. It happens that women are
No,
willing to share a man and they live happily ever after.
no,
It happens.
not willing to share. They just tolerate it because there's no other alternative. Because they still want to be, uh, they still want to have access to the resources that man will provide.
And that creates a conundrum.
Well, that's what I'm saying. As far as chaotic,
Hey, you call it chaotic. I just call it interesting. It's gonna happen.
I mean, it still happens. I'm just saying it's not. That's where chaos leads to. Broken homes lead to. I mean, you could look at any of the Muslim families that got multiple wives.
I've never seen I never been in the house and had dinner with them to know that it don't work.
Oh, I mean, it's all types of documentaries. All types of documentaries. But I know people personally like that, and it's like, dude, you never at one of your wives' houses, and sometimes you ain't at none of their houses. Like you, it was.
Are the wives complaining?
I mean, they don't. Most of the time, they don't let you talk to the wives. So I'm just hearing from his point of view,
Yeah,
and what
that's
I'm
what I'm
hearing
saying.
is chaos.
I gotta hear both
Like
sides of it.
like he's liking it, but he, if you listening to it, the story, it's chaotic. Yeah, because this one complaining about this, and I got to be at this one. You know what I mean, house, and that's chaotic. The kid, you ain't in
Right.
your kids' lives. You ain't got no heavy presence at none of the children's life. If you got four different wives, like we know damn well that's chaotic. Especially if you grew up in a household where your dad got multiple wives, you got multiple half siblings. That's chaotic.
I give you that.
Naturally, we're gonna have a drink. Who wants to stop? We stop because we only can tolerate but so much alcohol before it starts, having some ill effects. There's a reason why drugs get more potent and potent. There's a reason why they came up with stronger strains of weed. We naturally want to keep taking it up a notch.
I don't know about that, man. Because what about the bush people?
What about what?
The bush people. People still living in autonomous villages out there who
Yeah.
have who have no civilization. That's what I'm saying. That's natural living.
You saying they thriving or something, or
They're thriving. They're happy.
that's what you think?
As long as you're happy,
You seen the Amish people, right?
Amish people are super happy. No
There's a
city,
reason why. There's a reason why a good amount of the women, when they get a taste of modern life, they don't go back.
bro. I was just in Amish country Monday,
What state?
Indiana.
All right. And who
Cool
did you talk to?
people waving. I talked to the dude I delivered to.
You
He
didn't
got.
talk to any of the. You didn't talk to any of the women, though, did you?
I've talked to an Amish woman. I mean, I think it's called Mennonite.
Yeah, the Mennonites.
I talked to a Mennonite woman. She cool.
No, I'm saying like, did you? If you talk to a lot of the younger women and ask them what they think,
Younger women. I'm what, bruh. Young people don't know shit, bruh. You gotta once you
uh,
mature, you know this. Was you a
oh
hothead
no,
when you were younger?
you about to help prove my point. The
Were you
younger
a hot,
women don't. The
were you a
women don't.
hothead?
No. But this is what I'm saying. The younger women don't know shit. This is why they're easy to brainwash. Keep them ignorant. So they
Brainwash
won't.
well, would you want to brainwash your wife, or would you want Bill Gates to brainwash
I want her to be actual able to think for herself and come to the same conclusions. Because eventually it
her?
backfires if she didn't come to the conclusion on her own.
What did Rockefeller say?
What do you say?
He said he don't want a nation of thinkers. And then he bought the school system. The same school system your wife went through.
Yeah. This is why a lot of chaos there is. Because people don't have the confidence to teach people to be independent thinkers. They want them
Yeah.
to be brainwashed. So whether you do it or the school do it or your job do it, it still leads to the same chaotic behavior because people
Who
didn't naturally come to those conclusions.
who should do it? That's my question for today. Who should brainwash the kids?
No, we should teach them how to think for themselves. Society would be better off that way.
How do you do that?
You got to teach them to learn how to actually assess information.
Ask yourself information.
No, just the ability to not, you don't just trust it. You got to actually be able to think about it.
Think about it. Because we're taught in school what to think, not how to think.
Yeah. Same at work.
How do you
It's in
think?
society.
How do you think? How do you learn how to think?
You got to use your reasoning. Take all the information and see if you can come to the same conclusions on your own. I mean, it ain't, it's a long process to learn how to think properly.
Did you see the space women?
The space women.
Yeah, the women that went to space, Katy
Oh,
Perry and Gail King.
no, I didn't actually look into it. I try not to watch stupid stuff that's not real. But what happened? I seen somebody post something about Katy Perry in space, but I didn't actually look into it because it's stupid.
Yeah, they went to space. They never looked out the window.
Why would they?
Why wouldn't you? You're like people.
Because
People
it's
get on
hard to look out.
airplanes.
It's hard to look out a window when it's painted black.
Nah, it was clear window. We can see out the window. The people they're video recording this. We can see out the window. They never turned around and looked out the window. People get on airplanes to get the window seat just to look out the window. Why would you? How would you go that far up in Earth and not look out the window?
I don't know.
And then they not wearing spacesuits.
If they'd have worn spacesuits, would that have made it more realistic?
Yeah, I mean, you said like you're going up in a rocket that's going like 1,000 miles an hour, or maybe 500 miles. I don't know, but it's going super fast, and like dudes and like NASCAR drivers wear helmets.
Yeah, but that's because they're actually moving.
I mean, what I'm saying, they're fooling the whole world. They see that's my thing, man. I think it's the same people. The people I'm talking about that influence humanity.
So you don't think that
They put Katy Perry and Gail King on there to influence us to think that they really going out to space.
I mean, people are dumb. I don't put too much stock in people. The fact that they think Elon Musk sent the convertible into space is nothing else to say.
Yeah, it's still up there too.
Supposedly, the tires didn't blow up or nothing. It just he's a genius apparently.
And now he's your boy said give him 20, 30 minutes. And now he works for the government.
Hell, when did he not?
That's a good question.
You don't get that rich on your own.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. You know something going on.
Yeah, I just don't think it's the Catholics. I mean, they're part of the problem, but it's beyond the physical world. It's impossible for information to come from us.
The Pope's funeral is today. All the world leaders went to go see the Pope's funeral.
It's a part of the club. You gotta be a certain way to the Pope.
Why wouldn't he be the head of the snake?
It's simple. He's just a part of the cog. You need a lot of people in a lot of different places. Nobody can control every aspect, so you need a lot of bosses in a lot of different areas. He's just one of it. Not you gotta remember, not everybody's Catholic or Christian. You got a lot of all them other religions. So you need people in every different place if you want
But
to control the world.
but the old saying is all roads lead to where?
Hell,
And who controls hell? Rome.
impossible. Or else they wouldn't jump in there.
When jumping where?
In hell,
So hell's a literal place.
why wouldn't it be?
I mean, so if an angel flew in here right now and I grab him by the toe and I took my lighter and I light his toe up with my lighter, I fire him up. Is he gonna feel it?
I thought if any of that would even be possible, but
That's what I'm saying. That's logic, man. You just gave me a logic answer, but yet hell is real and souls are gonna burn there. Yet logically, I can't burn an angel with my lighter.
and logically speaking, hellfire wouldn't be the same as earth fire. Different place.
Okay, all right.
The logic follows.
It does. It doesn't. You just made up a whole nother place. So this fire is in a whole other realm, so it works there. All right, man. Well, let's talk about these realms then. God's in a realm, and we're in a realm, and then hell's a realm.
Well, yeah, we got the spiritual world, and then we got the flesh, physical world.
Okay. And the spiritual world controls what?
Controls everything beneath it. You know, y'all believe in stuff that's been like there's levels, but the same way we can draw things in a 2D world, a 2D world can't comprehend what 3D's like. It's the same with the spiritual world. We can't comprehend fully how the spiritual was able to do stuff, but we beneath it. We're on a lower aspect in the spiritual world.
Right. So it can't be detected by us in this realm.
I mean, you'll see remnants of it, but you still wouldn't be able to fully be able to comprehend to the full extent, what it's capable of doing. The same way a 2D square can't fully fathom a cube. Cube is 3D. A square is 2D. So only the 3D can fully comprehend the whole aspect, but the 2D is only can see glimpses of the shape. It wouldn't be able to know what a sphere is, just a circle.
All right.
No, I mean that's just logical. I mean, obviously, information got to come from somewhere. There's no way we're that smart on our own.
There's no way.
So the logic follows that we see influences from things that's beyond our comprehension. I mean,
So
to a certain extent, magicians are real. We got a lot of frauds, but there are some people who's able to do things that's unexplainable
where would the
throughout
first
history.
where you think the first magicians would come from? That very first batch of magicians.
The ones that was interacting with these spiritual beings.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, you think they were? I mean, looking, you know about history, so where in history do you see where it could maybe be an influence of some spirituality? Like, so,
Well, you brought up the Ten Commandments. You got the story of Moses when he dropped the snake staff on the ground, and then the other people had they snake staff drop on the ground, and they turned into snakes also. So that's definitely beyond our abilities.
I thought you would say the death of Christ, but okay,
I was going back before that.
because that's a timeline shift right there that you
Is
see
it?
in history. I mean, you see it,
No,
on the timeline.
it's definitely a staple in history. Period. Like there's no way escaping that.
BC and AD. That's a major change in the timeline shift through it, in history.
Yeah, not just timeline, but also how everybody started to deal with things in general and look at things, whether positive or negative. People change how they started operating after that.
You know the story of Serapis?
What is it?
Serapis.
No,
Uh,
remind me of it.
he was like Jesus. This is the story. I don't want to debate this or nothing. It's just a story I heard.
Gotcha.
He was like Jesus, and the guy Arian. They say he's a black guy. He was there at the Council of Nicaea trying to get him to not, uh, take the story of Jesus literally. But
Right.
it was a statue of Serapis, and I guess a statue of Jesus too. And the people was confused about which one to worship, and so that's why they had the Council of Nicaea.
That's a silly story. I mean, that could be an actual event that people debated, but that's still stupid from a Christian perspective. They shouldn't be worshiping either one of the statues. The Council of Nicaea happened a few hundred years after the story of Jesus, so
Right,
any true Christian would have destroyed the statues. Period.
a Serapis, but you don't know what was going on with Serapis might have been a healer or something, or it might have been a section of Christians, just like there's all kind of denominations. It might have been a section of Christians that was rocking with Serapis, and there was a section of Christians that was rocking with Jesus. They had to bring the two together because it was causing too much chaos.
Now it wouldn't really make sense because where the Serapis followers today? Where they churches at?
But we see who won the we see who won the debate. We see who won the battle.
See, the problem with Christianity is, from a logical standpoint, if it was fake, there's no reason it should have grew.
You said what again? You kind of went out there.
From a logical standpoint, there's no reason Christianity should have grew. It should have died off. The Christians, we talking about the actual early ones before all the actual slavery thing, like just the first 200 years. The
Yeah.
Christians was the ones that was being persecuted. They was non-violent. So there's no reason it should have grew. It should have died off with the Romans persecuting them and killing them.
See, that's my thing now. Is if 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 I wanted to get people to secretly worship Satan, I would just give Satan a different name and tell people to worship that. And, Jesus
Like
seemed like a good name.
like Allah,
Yeah, cool. Or Jesus.
Buddha.
Or Buddha.
But see, the difference is every religion had the same theme except for Christianity. You just got to look at how they want you to treat your wives and your women and your money. You look at those two things: how to treat the women and how to treat the money, and you'll see which one's true and which one's false.
I mean, you know me, man. I ain't a big religious guy. Anyway.
No, but every other religion had the same thing that you could work your way into heaven.
All right.
And just about every other religion, you can have multiple women or we need your money.
I mean, every religion needs your money.
No, true. See, we're talking from the actual sources, from the books. True Christianity was not that way.
See, you got to switch up on me because it's like, all right, he about to ride with me against the church. All right.
I no,
Like
see,
Martin Luther.
let's not
Martin
let's not
Luther.
confuse the church and the book.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I agree 100 because Martin Luther was big on the Bible and not the church. He rebelled against the church. Martin
Right?
Luther, the white one.
Yeah.
So I'm totally with you. Bible over church. But every time I kind of go at the Catholic Church, you gotta, you got their back. So
I got. Where do I got their back at?
you keep on saying it's not the Catholic Church.
I said the Catholic Church is not the head of it. I'm saying they're a pawn in it. They're not. They will be like a
Who?
knight.
You know, my next question is going to be, well, who's the head of it?
It will be Satan himself. I mean, the person that's actually given a source of the knowledge.
Okay, and Satan is a human being.
No, of course not. Satan's beyond this world. It has to be somebody who's able to see things over the course of long term, hundreds of years, thousands of years. To be able to orchestrate the plan the way it's being geared towards.
Right. Well, how
There's,
could it?
there's
Why wouldn't it just be a club? And then I
no,
got these secrets I
there
pass
is a
secrets
there
down to
is
my
a club
sons.
because we're stupid. That's why we too stupid to stick with a plan for thousands of years. There's no possible way. We barely can stick with our own damn plan
Okay. How is the Catholic
for.
Church still around then? If for thousands of years
You
they
got to
existed
remember, the
together,
Catholic Church, relatively speaking, is new.
but still six,
If we had at least 4,000 years before that, the Catholic Church is new.
okay, still 1600. Since the 1600s, they have been running the world.
That is a short time period.
Okay, cool. From your perspective,
No, I mean from what you're saying, you look at the time frame. That's a short time frame.
for me, that's a long time.
No, I'm saying like you look at the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, they was running things for a long time. That's what I mean. Like that's a long time to be running things.
Right.
And the Catholics, their power seem to be dwindling.
No, it's getting even more powerful. I'm talking about the
I
Jesuits.
think
The
I
Jesuits
think
got a plan to take the money and the gold from the United States, not the United States, America. My bad.
and you
United
think
and the Jesuits they came right out of the Catholic Church. The first Jesuit Pope just died.
do you think so? Where does America fit in with this Christianity or Catholic stuff? Is they
No,
against it or for it?
we were supposed to be a Christian nation under the Protestants. That means protesting the Catholic Church. That's where Martin Luther come from. These white folks that came over here were Protestants, and they was trying to start a new system of representative government. I mean, you vote for your people, you know, monarchs, and they wanted uh, a middle class. It ain't just rich and poor. So that's how America got to become America, the middle class, and freedom of religion. And but the Jesuits got disbanded around mid 1700s. They was disbanded for like 50 years. They came back. Jesuit Adam Weishaupt started the Illuminati 1776. America
But
got started on
where did they
1776.
get the where did they get the power from?
They got the power from the paper. The paper. They come with paperwork. That's what they do. The power's in the paper. Because
No,
paper is trees. And trees is an element of God. So
and you
they make the paper in such a way that it binds together. It's magic. Just like you said. That's what I was trying to get you when we was talking about the first magicians. I was trying to walk you down that road to the first magicians started the church, the Celtics, the Druids. That's where a lot of this mysticism comes from. That's why they got dark sayings in the Bible. This is why Jesus talking parables. These is magicians. These is mystics. But the number one tool of magic was a grimoire. Which a grimoire is a book. Grimoire became grammar, talking and spelling.
so if you think Jesus was what, a magician?
I mean, I could play the game with you, but I don't believe Jesus existed. But
No,
yeah, the story of Jesus, yeah, I mean, I believe Jesus left at 13. He went and studied.
no. If
Tibet.
he didn't exist, it then
I said
what do you think?
I said I would play the game though.
No, I'm trying to actually figure out the logic of how we get to where we at. Like if Jesus existed, if he didn't exist, you saying everybody in the world just stupid then?
Everybody in the world, no, everybody in the world don't believe in Jesus. A lot of people believe Jesus
No,
is
no,
is a mythical character
the 99%,
of
and
the
I'm just throwing
world.
that number out there. The majority, yeah,
Of
you
the
think they
world
just
believe Jesus existed.
majority of the people definitely believe he existed.
Okay, I can rock with that. That's cool. But you know, there's a percentage of people that think that he didn't
No,
exist.
right. They are the minority. I'm saying
Okay, okay, cool. I'm
so.
cool with this.
The people that actually think he existed, the historians, like all, like we're not talking about Christians, just the non-Christian people that actually believe he existed. You think they've just been fooled by the historical documents that is all basically just forgery?
I believe it was a story with a moral to it, and yeah, over time, people have taken the story literally.
I mean, the story's not
But
even
that ain't
positive.
what I want to. I don't want to get into because we already had that debate, bro. Remember?
Well, I'm not
So
debating it. I'm just trying to. I'm still stuck on how would the possibly the Catholics get this kind of authority and it not be from a spiritual influence? That's what I'm like. I'm not stuck on whether
oh,
Jesus is real.
but
Just how do we
okay,
transition to now and they got this authority
you
and
you
there's no spiritual influence.
you're saying spiritual influence, but I just gave a whole spiel about magicians, magic, how these.
Where did they get the
There's
magic
a
from?
reason why the Pope is wearing that hat. There's a
Where did they
magician
get the
hat.
magic from?
They,
That's what I'm getting to. Where they getting the source of power and information?
I mean, we could we could call it the ultimate magician. You want to call it Satan,
I'm just
or
trying to figure out where does the power come from? Where does that information come from? Where did the know-how come from? Is it from this world or from a different world?
well, I agree with you that our knowledge comes from. Do I want to say outside this realm? So I believe it was some people thinking, some high thinkers meditating, trial and error. You came up with a system,
So
but
if it came from outside of this realm, why wouldn't somebody else that's outside of this realm come to try to shed light on the proper way to do things?
well, they said somebody did.
Well, I'm asking you, like in your opinion, like why do you think like that wouldn't happen?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. Why wouldn't somebody try to come and save us?
Right.
Are we in danger?
Yeah,
From who?
from us, from our own selves. We like to enslave each other and take advantage of people.
So we're Satan.
No, we just influenced by it. So
That's what,
we wanted his pawns.
that's what I'm trying to pinpoint you on who is Satan. You just telling me a spirit, and you
I'm
trying to pinpoint me on who is Jesus.
not
This is pretty funny.
yeah. Satan will be the ultimate source of all the chaos we got now. All the false influence, all the stuff that seems right but is wrong.
So
Yeah, Satan is the source of that chaos.
he's the so nobody created Satan.
He made a choice.
So God didn't create good and evil.
God created, in an aspect, we could say he created good and evil, as in
So
he created the
he's the
ability.
source. He's the source,
Well,
right?
let's see if that logic follows. If you build a car and then somebody crashed the car and killed somebody, somebody could say, yeah, you killed the death killing a boy killing machine, even though you didn't design the car to kill somebody. Somebody took it and ran and killed somebody. That's what I mean. God created
But
Satan, but he didn't make him do it.
you see, I don't want to get into the debate you and the young brother had when I'm like, you know what I'm gonna say. It's like we already like we gonna stalemate again, which is cool. Which is cool. But it's not the same thing as you trying to paint it to be with your analogy. I like the
What
analogy
that creating somebody with the ability to do wrong is
with the ability to do. But I'm saying he created this being. He created good and evil. Now it's you like you said. So we got free will, right?
right.
I don't believe we got free will.
So
I,
you believe
I
you was
believe like the
forced to
Bible.
set this chat up?
I believe like the Bible say
That
it
what?
was written.
All right. And that how does that take away your ability to choose?
Because it was already written.
Let me see if I can put it in perspective. Any movie you could think of that you just saw. After you watch the movie and then you start it back over, you knowing the end at the beginning of the movie, does it change what happens in the movie?
That's what I'm saying. You don't know that you're in it. You don't know that you're inside something until you become conscious.
I would say so we don't have complete freedom. Like this is why I said we have the ability to choose, but we're not completely free. Or else,
Yeah, because it
we
was
would do a
written.
lot. Well, we have boundaries that's set up.
So you're not. We're slaves, bro. We are energy slaves, bro. Whoever built this thing,
So you just get a problem with the way the world's set up and the rules to it.
I don't got a problem. I have no problem. I have zero problems. I love it. I love it, bro. I love this place. I'm gonna beat this
Look,
game,
yeah, go
and
ahead.
I'm gonna get out of
Name
here.
somebody. Name somebody you know who beat the game already and came back to show you how to do it.
You know who it is. You know his name, but it's a
What's
story. It's a story to help us get out of here.
really?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It was the
So what you
only one
saying?
who made it out the matrix.
I want you to understand your own logic. You saying the only person to beat the game, they made the story up,
Yes,
and you
yes,
think you gonna be what?
yes. Is that
So so you gonna beat the game based off somebody who never lived, and so basically what you're saying is nobody ever beat the game. They just told you a story, and you hoping you gonna be the
well?
first to do it.
If somebody beat the game wouldn't tell you. The
If
game is
somebody beat
designed for you to. The game is designed for you not to know. The game is designed for you to lose.
if somebody beat the game, they have the ability to show other people how to beat the game. That's the difference.
Right. But he said he talks in parables though.
Yeah, but if he didn't exist, then some regular person said somebody beat the game, even though it didn't happen.
You said some regular person.
Yeah, because obviously it's just a
Oh,
regular person who wrote the Bible.
some deep thinking motherfucker.
The Gospels is four regular people that wrote the Bible.
Bruh, it's been how
Either
many
they made
lives?
it, either they made it up, or somebody actually lived and actually beat the game.
Bruh, they're telling a story about how we are all Jesus Christ and we could all beat the game. But they're not just gonna come out and tell you. This is Ready Player One.
Yeah, that definitely is a movie.
They tell the truth in the movies and they lie on the news. Everything's
They lie.
backwards here. It's, this,
They lie in general.
it's designed for you to. It's designed for you to lose. The Freemasons, they know what this place is.
And what is it?
It's a energy. It's an energy source. It's an
If
emotional place. They're measuring our emotions. They're keeping track of our emotions. They make fake stuff up on the news to get an emotional reaction out of you. Oh, they love the race stuff. Oh, they love the race stuff. And now they're diving into the men and women. And once they finish separating men and women, then the plan really gonna enact.
if Jesus was real, why wouldn't the people in control tell you that he didn't exist?
Well, they do everything to they need something to keep the slaves going. Give them hope. That's why they'll put a Tupac. A Tupac can inspire you. They'll take Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will inspire a group of
No,
people.
no. Jesus' story is totally different than any of the other influences they set up, like Martin Luther King and stuff like that.
I don't need it to be the exact story. I just
No,
needed to
what I'm
be. I
saying
just
is,
need people. I just need the public to love this person like they love Jesus. So I get them all from the same month. I give them all 5 letters, right? Kanye, Trump, Tupac, Jesus, same
the,
archetypal character, and we play this
the,
script out again and again and again.
this, the problem is the Jesus story is unlike any of the other crappy influences. The Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, all of those had the same thing. We all need to just band together, unite, and do like it's not the same as the Jesus story.
Is there no similarities to these
No,
characters?
no,
None.
not. Not when you compare it to Jesus. From an actual standpoint of if we talk about the actual crux of the story, the Jesus story is the worst one out of all of them. So I'm supposed to live my life and sacrifice myself to help everybody else out? Who wants to do that? I can't have no women?
Martin Luther King didn't sacrifice his life for everybody.
No.
And the
Come on,
story of
man.
Martin
You know,
Luther King.
go ahead. How many wives did
I don't, bro. You about to go into the real stuff. I don't want the real stuff.
Yeah.
I want on the surface stuff. Was he not a messianic character? Martin
That's
Luther
only
King?
because the actual story is a facade. We talking about the real story.
Okay. But bro, we talk about real stories.
The story written about Jesus has nothing to do with the stuff that they paint people as. The way they paint Martin Luther King, the way they paint Tupac.
They
This is what I'm saying is the actual story. All you got to do is use your brain. You read it and say, all right, yeah, it's nothing like Jesus.
maybe I'm thinking too hard about it.
Go, you tell me the crux of Tupac's story.
The
He was
crux.
revolutionary. How? He was damn near no different than any other rapper.
He went against the government. That would be wrong.
How? So was he for or against the government when he was sitting in the bathtub naked with jewelry covering himself? When he was
Posing
talking about
posing
when he
like
was talking
who?
about
Posing
when he
like
was
who?
talking about I don't know who he was fooling, some homo.
Bruh. Come on, bruh.
Well, who was he posing like?
That's Jesus on the cross when he in the tub.
Come on, man, there ain't no Jesus on the cross.
He got his legs, bruh. I don't know when he look at that picture, but
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing saying they, oh yeah, I'm controlled opposition. That's what that is.
okay.
So when he was talking about he's
See,
sleeping with Biggie's wife and all that stuff, that's the positive picture. Where's the positivity of Tupac?
all right, did Jesus have to whoop some ass
No,
with the money changers?
no,
Yeah,
he
he
just
just
tossed
whooped
the
some
money
ass.
over. Who did he touch?
He didn't wind up some rope and start spanking niggas.
No,
Okay.
it says exactly what he did with it. He didn't touch nobody. He scared the animals out the pen, and that was about it. Scared the
No,
animals out, chased them off, and told them what they doing with the money changers is
no.
evil.
You leaving the part out, bro.
Go ahead, pull it up. I know you see that at your computer. Pull it up. Read the story. Yeah, and tell me the crux of it where he put hands on people.
I just did this. While I'm pulling this up, did Jesus? I can't believe I'm debating. I try to. That's what I'm trying to get other people up here. Did Jesus' body rise out the grave, out the tomb?
He walked out the grave.
His physical body. His physical
Yeah,
body.
his physical body. This is why he told Peter, "Yo, touch my hands, touch my, you know what I mean, the wounds."
Why did
Why
Jesus?
wouldn't it be?
Why did the Bible say Jesus gave up the ghost on the cross?
Yeah, what's the ghost? It's just spirit. The body was still there. Wasn't the body still on the cross?
So the body got up without a ghost, without a spirit.
All right, you go back in. You go back in it.
Okay.
See, when you from beyond this world, you can do what you want. You never heard of nobody like look at the people that's demonically possessed. Don't those spirits go on bodies? Come on, you know your spirit got a your body got a spirit.
See, that's the thing. Every time it's a demonic possession, guess who got to come? Who coming? What denomination are
Yeah.
they from that they coming?
Well, that's because they,
Can
they they all on the same boat.
can you say the denomination for the people?
No, yeah, the Catholics.
Oh, the Catholics are coming when there's a demonic possession.
That's because it's one of their peoples. Probably.
Would you want a Catholic to come if you was demonically possessed?
I don't want no
Or one of
Catholic.
your
Nah.
children?
Nope.
What would you do? So you believe in demonic possessions?
Oh, it's real.
You seen one?
I've seen people possessed. I mean,
I
First of
saw people
all,
possessed in
it's
church.
impossible there too. I
It's
mean,
called
you
the
could.
Holy Ghost.
Is that right?
That's not possessed. That's an alter. That's an alter. When we pull up the definition of possessed,
Yeah, we're talking demonically possessed. It's a difference.
what are they possessed? They're acting different.
So whether somebody's acting moral or immoral, that doesn't give you evidence to what kind of possession.
We're speaking in tongues.
We're not talking about a lot of the fraud stuff you see on YouTube.
I've seen it with my own two eyes.
So speaking in tongues mean what to you?
Don't mean nothing to me. I'm just saying you're speaking in tongues. You're possessed.
So speaking, so no, like one of the actual ways of speaking in tongues is speaking
I
different
can't.
languages.
I can't stop them and be like, hold on, wait a minute. Is this a demon or an angel in there? What are you working with? You're possessed. That doesn't seem good to me.
I mean, unless they actually speaking to somebody, they're not following. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these people just doing stuff that is outside of the book that they claim to follow. A person speaking in an unknown language, there's
When
nobody there talking to an angel. Like they
when
just talking to regular people. It doesn't make any sense.
when do people catch the Holy Ghost in church?
I ain't at every. I'm not at every event. Hell, and most of these churches is not
When
even
the
accurate.
music when the music is playing.
Yeah, but a lot of these people going to a concert, like they're not even. These
I'm
ain't
a,
these ain't actual these ain't actual assemblies of believers.
I'm saying you a smart dude. You know how music affects
No, I
human
already know what
beings.
you're saying. I mean, but this is the same reason why people go to the concerts and get the same effect.
I mean, I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm just saying,
This is this is why the concerts are set up similar to the churches.
who's the minister of music?
The chief prince is Satan.
Yeah,
This is why a lot of rappers. Why do a lot of rappers and musicians in general talk about selling their soul to the devil?
they just
Where
come.
do they even get that concept from?
These young rappers under 25, they just straight out Illuminati. They just come out with it. They don't even. They're not
Yeah,
even
but
hiding
what?
it no more.
But like like the rock and rollers and the rock stars, why do they start saying that they got contracts with the devil? Why, out of all things, why would they say that?
I mean, okay. Well, who's orchestrating the meeting between the devil and the rock star? That's what I'm trying to get you to bridge the gap for me because I think we having a good conversation. I think that I need you to answer some things for me. You know,
They
I need.
they all ain't in the same organization. This is why some of them make it far and some don't. Like you look at Travis Scott and you look at Kendrick Lamar.
They about the same to me.
Yeah, but they don't got the same impact now. One's way bigger than the other, and yet they are about the same. So obviously they're not making the same kind of deals.
Who's bigger? Who's bigger?
I mean,
Oh,
impact wise, right now, the Kendrick Lamar is way more popular, and Travis Scott right now is suicidal.
okay. I said last time I checked, I heard Travis Scott was like one of the biggest. I think under Drake. So I
Over
didn't.
Kendrick Lamar
I mean,
right now,
maybe lately.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar right now, he got the
Okay.
momentum.
Okay.
He's at the
I
Super
try to
Bowl. He's
keep
in
up.
all these ads.
Yeah, yeah. I try to keep up, but
You keep up a lot more than I do. I'll tell you that. But no,
I
I
don't.
like. I've heard a lot of white people where I'm at telling me how they like Kendrick Lamar. That's what let me know who bigger.
You see Kendrick Lamar with the Jesus crown on, just like how Kanye.
Exactly. Yeah, they all Tupac, all of these guys, they all do the same nonsense.
Okay,
But
okay. So
in their
do you
music, they
blame
talk
Tupac?
about
Do you blame Tupac or do you blame
no. It was
his
before.
manager?
It was before hip hop. Tupac is part of the problem. I mean, he come on. You if somebody say, "Yo, let me pitch you on a crown of thorns," and we only going to pitch you with something around your waist, just your underwear, and we're going to pitch you up on these two pieces of wood. There's no way you not going to be able to know that what that imagery is.
Right.
Like You ain't even gotta really be like that's energy. You know somebody doing that for a reason. And they came up in America. How you not hear of Jesus? When we got Easter and Christmas every year, two biggest holidays.
I know I keep switching subjects with shit, but the Pope, I just remember this on Christmas Day, open up a door, a holy door. They was calling it a portal at the time, and then he dies. A few days later. I could check the date, but you don't find that weird?
I find a lot of things coincidental and where like there's a decent amount of numerology and certain numbers and figures and full moons and half moons where stuff happens. But what I'm saying is just like the pyramids and those big like a lot of things line up on an astral plane geographically. There's no way these people know all knowingly known what they were doing. That's what I'm saying. There's influence above them that they wasn't even aware of. They just was a useful idiot. And it
Yeah,
was for later generations to realize, hey, what they was doing, there's some power there. We need to channel that.
but okay. So you a flat earther, right?
In a sense,
Okay. You don't want to. We've been looking at the same stars forever.
right?
The the Bible, the story of the Bible is in the sky, is in the heavens.
Yeah. What's the issue?
So that's how they all the everybody all over the world is telling the same story.
Not necessarily. How would you come
Right.
up with the story of the flood? Looking at the sky. How could you possibly come up with that kind of story? That the
Because
entire earth was flooded.
there's waters above, and if what's holding the waters above happens to get a spring a leak, there would be a flood.
Yeah, but nobody ever seen that ever happen. Like none of us, nobody seen that.
I'm saying all these ancient civilizations tell stories about a great flood.
Yeah, because the likelihood of it being a true story is extremely likely. Like, not you're making it as if there's just mass hypnosis and everybody just delusional.
No, no, I did not, bro. I said they're looking at the
No,
stars.
I'm relating to the flood story with the same as Jesus story. There's a reason it has such an impact
Yeah,
on civilization because it
because it,
happened.
because it's the story of the sun. The sun
Listen,
and
man,
God. Who
the
owns that?
base
Who owns the sun? Does Russia own the sun? Does America own the sun?
is not the same type of. The son is not the same as a child.
That's God's son. Nobody else owns it but God. That is God's son.
What does that got to do with a person saying that he resurrected his body and people saying they saw it, a
I
physical
told you
body?
before. The sun died. The sun dies every year. December
Does
22nd.
it?
Yes.
It dies every year.
It dies every year, December 22nd, on a cross, the Southern Crux. It's a constellation in the sky.
And you saying that's what they came up with? And they somehow they came up with the stories that people seen that sun walking on the earth and looking like you and me.
The sun walks on water. It does.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of that's a
The
lot
you
of
because you ain't you. You know this. You
that's a
ain't
lot of
that physical.
cognitive
You're
dissonance.
not that physical body.
So what is you? You tell me
You're
what
not
you are.
when I say I am David, I'm not really David. I'm the I am.
And what abilities do you got if you trying to make it out of a world that you can't even control and see?
That's what the Bible said when God asked God's name. He said, I am the I am. I'm the I am. That's Yahweh. And you said what, bro?
No, I'm trying to figure out how are you and any what kind of authority do you got?
I got authority over this body. I tell it what to do.
So
I'm here to I'm
you
here
can
to
tell your
learn.
body to live forever.
I'm here to learn how to be
Can
evil.
you can you tell your body to live forever?
My soul lives forever. This body will fade away.
And what happens to your soul? And
That's
what
why I don't
evidence do
believe.
you got for that?
There's a reason I don't believe in dinosaurs, because this body is organic. Everything organic turns back to dust, phosphate.
And what's going to happen to your soul?
It returns back to cinder. The big light. The big light.
And who has
Hey,
and who has control over
hey,
that?
you know light is information, right?
To an extent.
You mess with computers, don't you? Don't you work with
No,
computers?
I know what you're saying. That's what I said. To an extent.
Right. But okay, they invented computers, bro, to study the universe and to find out about God. Because this computer right here, it holds millions of tons of information. But if I can pick it up, it's light, it's super light. They found out about counter space, the cloud, information. You can store information in the clouds. They've been studying computers to find out about God. That's why they use ones and zeros, right? Male and female, because all this is male and female. The sun is male, the moon is female. So
And how would you
everything,
possibly know one's male, one's female?
the moon is magnetic, the sun is electric. You can clearly see the sun is not a big ball of fire. The moon, they said it pulls on the oceans, but it really is pulling on us, the water that's inside us. But there's been, I studied some some ancient people just to get down to the crux of it, because that's a tough question.
So
How do
you
I know
trust?
the
How
question
do
is,
you
how do
trust
I
their
know the
history?
sun is? You said what, bro?
And how do you trust their history? How do you trust that their stuff is correct?
Meditation, man, deep thought. Like I was asking you in the beginning of this. How do you think?
So you saying all your source of information is yourself?
You know that, bro.
I can't trust myself. Not that well.
You can. Well, how you gonna tell people to learn how to think? That's thinking.
Yeah, but trusting yourself for all the information is crazy.
Who else? Who else would you? I mean, come on, bro. Give it to me. Who else
Come on,
would you trust? Who?
you got to trust somebody that's
Einstein?
beyond. No, I mean, he married his cousin, first cousin at that.
Jeff Bezos? I mean, I'm trying to think of some very, very smart
Well,
people.
well now we know Jeff Bezos ain't even smart. He stole that information.
Creflo Dollar?
Only thing he's smart about is convincing people that they were dumb enough to give him all that money.
Stephen Hawkins? Who bro? Who else
We
would I
don't,
trust besides myself?
and we know Stephen Hawkins. He wasn't even smart. The one that they, and they wasn't even
Nobody
talking,
was.
and people
Yeah. That was a
fall for
hoax.
that. That alone should let you know how stupid people. Nigga mumbling, and they tell me, say he said all this. Man, shut the hell up.
Oh, okay, but you see, okay, well, you see, all right,
No,
the
so
mass public is not very intelligent. We agree on that. Maybe not.
no, yeah we agree.
Okay, so do you think it's wrong to control these unintelligent people? That because you know they're controlled. If you know that they're not intelligent, you know that somebody's controlling.
Wait, hold on.
You know,
Give me a second. Hold on,
yeah,
give me a second.
you good. Find out where King Wise at, man. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead. Now, what happened to King Wise? He ain't never.
I just hit him with the question mark. I'm gonna see. He said They said give him 20 or 30 minutes. That seemed like that was about an hour ago.
Yeah,
He might have got scared off. I don't know.
he was listening in the background.
Maybe so. He said, "Oh man, I don't want to do this." Nah, he's too crazy. He's coming. He's without a smoke. There's one person I know that's without a smoke.
The problem is he don't know which way the smoke blowing. He's just in smoke.
He is the smoke.
More like an incense.
I wonder where the hell he been at. Got caught up with that little dirt Rico.
Oh no, I ain't been keeping up with him.
No. I forgot what we was talking about, bro. I'm just trying to.
No, we was talking about the source of information. You said you could trust yourself to come up with all the information.
Well, you the one tell me I gotta be a deep thinker, man.
Yeah, but where I was going with it was, yeah, if we all trust in ourselves, that's how we end up with the wrong information. But obviously, some type of sourceful information has to come from above us to give us the correct information.
What if I said I tapped into that?
The problem is you can't see what you're tapping into.
It may be good, it may be bad. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, if you can't verify it, and you don't have access to it at will,
I
you don't know.
think the only bad is right here.
The only what?
I think the only bad is right here
And how would you categorize what's good and what's bad?
on this realm. We came here to learn bad because where we come from, where the I am come from, there is no bad.
So what do we need to learn bad for? What's the objective of doing that?
To be a more perfect being, this make you even better. Come here to learn what evil is.
But if you know what good is, you already know what evil is. Just the opposite of good.
We don't experience good, evil where we from.
What do we experience?
It's all good. That's why
What do we need to experience evil for?
To learn. It builds character. You get thrown in the fire. You ever damn man? Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Well, no, just your regular picture up.
It's just me and you. Okay. All right. Let's switch this up. This King Wise, scary ass ain't him. I don't know. He might come. This is an old ancient picture.
You always got like 50 tabs up.
Is there everything connected? I gotta try to connect everything and try to tell a story, and then that's where I could get up out of there real quick.
Your stock market pictures, bull and bear market.
Well, it's the bull. The bull is the idol worship. The bull, the golden bull for the stock market. But the bull.
Is that why Jordan was so popular? Because he was the Chicago Bull?
Yeah, yep. And he won 6 championships, and he was 6'6". And
yep.
In the last shot he took, the shot clock was at 6.6 seconds. And there was a little kid holding number 6 up. Like, that little kid is the most dangerous motherfucker on earth right there. Whoever he is, whoever that little kid is, he's somewhere right now running some shit. Because how do he know?
He was lucky. Or he could have just been, he could have just gave him a sign. Hold this up.
He was holding it up with his hands, with his fingers.
No.
Wild, it's a whole lot with Jordan. But the flying bull guy, yeah. The bull turned into the devil. That's what the bull read. The Toro bull. This picture looks horrible. But this is
Well,
actually
back when they were sacrificing the kids.
this is you right here. You the baby.
I'm the sacrifice.
You're the perfect being put into the simulation, the matrix, Earth, the Earth realm.
Really.
And it's supposed to be fire coming out his belly. We can find a better.
And what makes you think any of that's accurate?
It's just a picture and it's just a theory. I said before I said it's a theory of mine. But it's just the real picture right here. You get placed in, you get pushed in the burning fire. You come out. You get forged in the fire. My old army sayings. Make you
Most
tough.
people get scarred. Most people get scarred in the fire.
You take it as a literal fire, but you just told me earlier that there's a realm where souls can go, and it's a different type of fire. Is what you told me.
Yeah, but
But
we
now
we in, we got flesh covering our soul.
right.
So if we agree that knowledge comes from above, a different above a realm higher than ours, why wouldn't it be accurate that the only accurate and moral authority came to show us what was accurate amongst the midst of lies?
Okay, and he got here through a virgin birth.
Why
Let's
not?
let, let's go through it. Let's go through it. He
You
got
can
here.
see that. Well, you can see, yeah, it's going. He going to come in a way where it's undeniable that it came from outside of regular influence.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what the ancients said. They looked at this constellation called Virgo, and they said, "You know what? It's like a pregnant lady sitting on a table." Well, who the hell
I'm
got
not
her
saying the
pregnant?
picture.
You ain't seen the picture.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm not saying how it looks like a virgin birth. I can see a screen,
Okay,
but how did that look like a virgin?
it's Virgo.
You need a whole lot of imagination to see that as a chick.
But that's what the ancients named her. And I'm telling you the story. Who got her pregnant?
What language did they speak that they named it Virgo? Like
You could you could translate languages, right?
no, I know, but what language did they act like? What was the actual name back then? What was it
You,
called?
you want to call it Hebrew? You want to
I'm
know?
saying whatever they named it. I'm trying to figure out like what was it actually
I'm saying,
called?
I'm saying, look, I can go to Chicago, right? And they talk way different than I talk, and that's just like 200
No,
miles away. I'm saying
I'm not
everybody in the
disagreeing.
world. I'm saying everybody in the world sees this constellation. We just already established it. We've been looking at the
All
same
right.
story for thousands and thousands of years.
So how
I'm
do we
saying not
how do we
ancient,
understand?
not just the ancients in Egypt. I'm saying all of the ancients was telling the same story. We agreed on that. I thought just not a little while ago.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying how do we take that and then say this looks like a woman?
You caught up on a woman shit. I can't even finish the
Well,
story.
no. So what's the significance? You said Virgo, virgin birth.
I'm trying to get to. If I can tell the story, I can get to the
All right,
significance.
go ahead.
Who got her pregnant? Just like whose son is it? It could only be
God.
one. God. It's, so yeah, you're born of a Virgo, born of a virgin. The son, born of the virgin,
Mm-hmm.
Virgo. She started it all. Okay, that's just one story.
What they got to do with the stars?
Look at Moses, because I'm saying the ancients been telling the same stories for thousands and thousands of years. Moses
All right.
coming down the mountain and seeing the bull. I mean, they are literally right next to each other. The man with the tablet. These was the stories. These was the movies. You was asking me about stories. You asked me about a man coming down to earth. Yeah, this dude, he falls. This is the story. The man who fell from the skies. It's Orion. It's Osiris. It's Jesus. It's Moses. That's the man in the sky. That's the
I
God of the
read
sky.
the Osiris story is not really that similar to Jesus.
Okay, bro. That's
You
cool.
could you could read them.
Hey, I'm saying, I read them. Osiris is the god of the underworld. How'd he get there? How did
And
Jesus
what
get here?
he
The
came from
fallen
above.
man. They got here by the devil, the horny one, the one with the horns. Casted him down to the earth. Because sometimes it look like this dude is falling, depending on how his shape. I mean, how or where you at. It's just my look. I just say this. It's my theory. I rock with that. Can it be my theory?
No, it definitely could be your theory. I don't
Okay.
see my thing with the constellations in general. I don't see how people come up with these pictures because I look at the stars. I don't see none of that. You know, you got people drawing bulls and birds and like I look at the stars. I don't see none of that what they be seeing.
Okay. You was talking to me about 3D shapes, right?
Right?
If what shape would it make if you was to put a line through all the stars? What dimension would that be?
I don't know. I think it's see 3D.
I'm saying, would it be like a crazy like tetragrammatron shape? I mean, like it would be like the 11th dimension.
That one may not know what the fourth, fifth, sixth, and higher dimensions will look like. So that would just be me making it up.
I'm
Like
saying,
a square trying to describe a cube would be ridiculous. It never comprehended anything 3D. So there's no possible way it would have a concept.
where do your soul come from?
Oh, all the souls come from above, from God, but
So what, man? Are we looking at above? You ain't got
no.
no. So look, you too caught up in your physical body to be like, well, I'm a three-dimensional being. I can't comprehend. You come from that. You just said right now, you came from above. I'm showing you a picture of above and what's up there and what's out there. It's a bunch of lights. I said earlier, you are light. The I am is light. Information.
You put everything into a basic concept.
Because life is simple, man.
Is it?
It ain't easy, but it is simple. You can make it simple.
And what's the simplicity of life?
Right now, my answer would be deep, deep thinking.
And
Your
why do we even need to do deep
your
thinking? What's the
theories.
purpose?
Your theories. Because man, back in the 1800s and early 1900s, people was doing all kind of deep thinking. There was a what they call it? It wasn't a revolution. It was a enlightening period. All kind of books was being written, all this great poetry and stuff. Because the deep thinkers. And why I say Rockefeller, why did he buy the school system? It's freedom when you can think deeply. It's meditation. That's what the Bible was for. It's for meditation. That's why you take two of every kind. There's always two of every kind. Everything's male and female. It's always two of every kind. You take it to your arc. Your arc is the meditation process, but you really ain't got to meditate because it's hard to meditate. But you can
The
think
Bible says
deeply. You can
we're
think
supposed to take
deep.
7 of every kind.
You said seven of every kind.
7 of every kind.
That's cool.
Most of the animals it was 7 of every kind. Just the unclean was 2 of every kind.
What's a
Just
kind?
so we clear.
What's a kind?
Like a horse and a rabbit is 2 different kinds. A cat and a dog is 2 different kinds. Uh, a dog and a wolf, that's the same kind. A cat,
Where
a
can
mountain lion. Those are the same kinds.
Who information is this? Can you source?
What I said?
Yeah, can you source up?
Oh yeah, that's God's information.
Where can you source up?
Yeah, it came from Jesus.
Okay, what verse and chapter or I mean source up? Give me a source. Give me,
Oh, you meant in the Bible?
or did you make it up, or did you deeply think about that and that's your own thoughts?
Oh no, the Bible is from that ain't it ain't like I came up with the Bible. The Bible.
Okay, well, can you give me the chapter and the verse so I can look it up, or did you make it up?
What, seven of every kind? You can Google it. I thought you was gonna Google it. You could just type in the ark, seven of every kind. It'll pop right up.
What if I type in art two of every kind? Nothing will pop up.
I said seven of every kind is all the
Why you can't
plain
let me do that?
animals. I told you what the two of every kind is. Two of every kind is just stuff like pigs and stuff.
If I type out two of every kind, will nothing will pop up?
No, I said something will pop up. But
Okay, but
why
okay.
we ignoring the seven of every kind?
I'm gonna do it just to make you happy. But I'm just saying now.
I'm saying we can't cherry pick. It's the main most of the
What is
animals
the
were seven
source?
of every kind.
What is the source though?
The same one that you quoting the two of every kind. That's just part of the
Before I
equation.
look it up, I want to know like it's gonna be
It's in Genesis.
doctor said this or something, or it's gonna say it's in Genesis. Okay.
You good with the numbers? I figured you would have known that it said something about sevens.
Bruh, for all my life it's been two of every kind. Take seven of every kind of clean animals, meaning seven pairs. What's a pair?
You know, it's talking about male and female.
Oh my God, bro. I said, then I say,
But right there, Genesis
I
chapter
said,
seven, seven of every kind.
okay, two of every kind. Then immediately said male and female. Because I've been talking about male and female this whole time. I've been talking about the sun and the moon. How is male and female? You was asking me how do I know the sun and the moon, male and female? Our whole concept of marriage comes from sun and moon being male and female, and them being the same size, and them dancing in the sky like mom and dad dancing in the living room.
The way you come up with your knowledge, you telling me your knowledge is crazy.
I mean, it don't
I'm
make
supposed to look at it.
there's no logical sense to nothing I'm saying.
No, you saying the sun and the moon is like our parents, where so they're always separate,
They're dancing
except for
for one night honeymoon for only one night.
so how come it ain't one sun and like four or five moons? The way you said we need to have multiple women. Why we don't see that?
Say I'd rather just talk about one sun, but there is man, it's too much, man. And people ain't ready for that. But in the realm where we're at, there's one sun, there's one moon, and we follow that. That's why we go on honeymoons and stuff. You know, the male wear black and the chick wear white. She representing the moon. The moon is the queen of the night.
Interesting.
And male and female. And then, the Twin Towers was representing sun and moon and male and female. That's why they knocked them down and make it one. This is gonna be they're merging something together. They're social engineering and merging something together. It's clearly what they're doing. But the foundation of what all this is built off of is electric magnetism. Electric is male, it's masculine, and the moon magnetism is feminine, and it's subtle energy. But they love L. They love electricity. Their first god is L. We love magnetism as a human race, but their first god was L. That's why
Who
theology,
there to see it?
huh?
Who was there to see it?
Well, this is the Canaanite. people, one of the first civilizations, and their name, their god is El, and a lot of stuff that we get comes from them. A lot of stuff that we do is ancient as fuck. You know, understand the bull god, El, Baal, Israel. But it really should be. It shouldn't be Israel because these people would never put the mother first, which ISIS would be first in Israel. They would put Ra first, then they would put ISIS, then they would put the son, El, and that raise the electricity to get up out of here.
Well, when Rye or any of those other guys can come and show me something, they're irrelevant.
Why Jesus always got electricity behind him?
He got what?
Why he always got electricity behind him?
What you mean?
Uh, the sun behind him.
You going to regular people pictures?
I mean, why they paint it like that? The people who paint it, they're cool with the, they're part of the church too. Michelangelo, he's married into the church, man. He's making the 16th chapel for. He's not doing that for regular people. He's doing that for the church.
Yeah, the Catholic Church, they're keeping that image going.
And then if mom is the moon, Mary, he's electricity. He dies, he comes back, he sees Mary again, which is the other Mary Magdalene, but you got two magnets and electricity.
So I guess King Wise is a no-show.
King Wise don't want no smoke, man. I done went too off the rails for you. I'm sorry, man.
No, I was more of expecting King Wise or any one of them to show up.
Yeah, you know what? I thought you wasn't gonna show up, and turns out it was these dudes. I sent you the thing last because I didn't want to waste your time, bro. So I wanted you to be on here. We was gonna have a good time, have a good laugh and shit. But
I don't know. Maybe King Wise was embarrassed from the last one.
yeah, man. After we get out here, you're gonna hit me up.
I'll still be available, but like I said, that's if he hits you up.
What day good for you? This ain't gonna be tonight, but what day good for you, man?
I'm pretty open. If I see the email, I'll pop on.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna send you like I did today, man. Just send you a link, man. Because if I get to talk about what I'm gonna do, I ain't gonna never do it. So
yeah, all right, sound good.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
All
man.
right, you too.